Sup. Just doing some more experimenting here. Because the rig is about 300 pounds without me in it, which would be total 500 pounds. Having to lift up and down for the heave motion, divided between 3 servos, 1 up front, 2 in the back. That puts us about 500 divided by 3, 150. I don't know, about 130 pounds per actuator. Probably more on the back since the seat's farther back from center of mass than the front, but let's call it 150. That would mean that when this actuator is trying to lift up, it needs to counteract 150 pounds of resistance of friction on the ball screw to move the entire rig up. But when it's moving down, you have gravity helping you instead of fighting you. So there's pretty much zero resistance, which would mean that any motion in the up direction is slightly delayed because of the extra torque required by the servo to ramp up its current to get spinning and overcoming the friction of the ball to move up than it is to move down. So I've got this theory that by adding this constant force gas spring to, this is similar to like a car actuator you'd have on your back hatch or whatever to lift the car up. It's not a damper. It applies a constant 60 pounds of force in the vertical direction to take away some of that gravity force that I just described earlier. But now I've got another issue because this is pushing up, the spring is pulling down, and that's what keeps it seated in the socket. And 60 pounds of actuator is about in the zone where this stays seated in its socket before this has enough power to constantly lift it up. And it doesn't take much force to, there's a problem. It doesn't take much force to lift the rig out of its socket. Now it's going to be impossible to lift because you don't have the extra lifting capacity. Yeah, I can't lift it, of that gas spring. But you see the concept, and now you see the problem where I need to create some kind of encapsulated socket to keep the ball in place in its orange holder so that does not happen while I'm driving. With my added weight, an extra 200 pounds would probably be less of an issue. Another option may be to add another one of these garage springs to the front side to add additional downward force of preload. Or I randomly chose these off of Amazon at 60 pounds. Could drop it down to a 30-pound gas spring. Definitely not the Aliexpress 1200 Newton gas springs I tried first. This is a 300-pound gas spring. That's insane. 300 pounds pushing on that thing to get this to compress. Obviously, the rig didn't move it at all. That was stupid. Even the 60 is just Goldilocks right. And I'm thinking that's going to help the servo give me that last little bit of road noise fluctuation because it can easily oscillate without much effort. Well, now this has to be fixed, but keep on going. Happy New Year.